To share with you guys, when I got over to 100,000 first, it took me. Hey, how's it going, guys? Dan Kitajima here, back with another episode of How to Grow Your Insurance Agency. Today, I want to share with you guys something I shared with you guys on my Instagram stories. I got a lot of comments. Basically, my trajectory, which I'll be able to show on my screen here, of how we got the road to 500,000 in premium sales in a month. So last month, October 2022, we got to $500,000 in premium, but it didn't start off that way. I've been in business for 15 years. And I just want to go over the levels that I had to go through to get to this level, because I guess it showed a lot of other agents some hope and what type of trajectory maybe they could see their agency go, because it just shows how real momentum is and how things take time. After some time, you start getting to see bigger results sooner. To share with you guys, when I got over to 100,000 first, I mean, that was a goal of mine from the very beginning. And I started in August of 2007. It took me 6.5 years to get to 100,000 sold in 1 month. Yeah, that was February 2014. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I think the challenges there really is just that everything's a challenge, right? Because I started off as a scratch agency, didn't know anything what I was doing. I will say that most of the sales I was doing myself. So it's very difficult to get to 100K when you're by yourself. So that's first thing first. So finding and developing producers, finding the right person, but developing producers was probably the biggest step there. So I remember when I got to 100K, I had a couple reliable, consistent, and skilled producers. So that took time, 6.5 years. This channel is May, so I created it, so it won't take you guys as long, hopefully. But back then there wasn't anything really except for a few books about insurance agency operations. So now there's so many more resources. But anyways, yeah, it took me that long. I think also in the beginning there's capital issues because you don't have any residuals coming in. So it's very difficult to spend so much money on marketing and staffing when you don't have that much money. So it makes sense that it's very difficult to grow your agency at a fast pace because you don't know what you're doing. But like me, I didn't have that much money. And then not being patient enough, I will say I wasn't that patient. So I was frustrated many times. It was very difficult, 6.5 years. There were some dark months in there, but I got to give myself credit for not giving up. And I think that is something I want to share with you guys because I do believe there's so many talented insurance agencies, owners out there that didn't get to 100,000 the first few years and gave up. Whereas if they would have not given up, all the skills they would have learned and all the residual income that would have been coming, they didn't maybe see that the trajectory of growing would have been so much faster if they didn't give up. But that is something I see that is unfortunate because sometimes you're just really that close. If you're gonna go through 5, 6 years of not really doing well financially and paying your dues, then might as well get something out of that. And to get something out of it just requires us to not give up and continue to increase our skill level, which is just a matter of time. I mean, even if you're average or even not smart, you're still going to learn from your mistakes. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes, but you can at least learn from your own. And, we make mistakes constantly. I mean, I still do, but especially the first 6 years, so many mistakes. I think the biggest ones are maybe hiring mistakes. But that's just one thing I want to share with you guys, how my first 6 years went. And then getting to 200,000, it still took me another 5 years and 2 months, April 2019. I think during that stage there, not so maybe near the end of it, but for a good 4 years there until maybe 2017, I kind of got out of the survival mode of the first 6 years. And maybe I got a little comfortable there. Or maybe some of my focus was starting a family. There's a lot of different things that in your personal life that obviously affect things in your business, which is great times in my life. But I will say maybe I was a little comfortable, maybe happy that I got to 100K. Staff members are doing better. Maybe I wasn't working as hard. I think near towards the end of it, I started to understand, and at that point, maybe I wasn't understanding the scalability of the business, the potential of this business, my potential. So that's what probably took me that long to get to another 200K. Looking back at it, once I got to the first 100K, It should have been, okay, let's get to 200K right away. But maybe I didn't see any other agency owners, or I wasn't that involved with other agents and seeing what's possible in this agency operation. So it took me another 5 years. To get to 300K, that was a lot faster. It was 1 year and 9 months from when I got to 200K. So that was January 2021. I think the biggest change there was the bigger office, moving into this office space here. Making that commitment there, my rent went up 5 times the cost, much bigger. And I started thinking much bigger, reading better books, stopped listening to music as much and started listening to audiobooks and podcasts and everything about business and motivation. I really got to 300K a lot faster. I would say at around this point, my work ethic really increased, my discipline level really increased. So really all about me changing my mindset, which got us to 300K a lot faster. And then getting to 400K, that took another year and 4 months. So again, it's taking less and less time to go up another 100K. And I would say here, again, breaking some barriers about maybe increasing the lead spend. For some reason, I just thought, hey, I can't spend more than X amount of dollars, but I started spending more money, believing myself more, believing my staff more, believing the business more. My motivation was already high, but then my employees' motivation slowly started to increase as well, maybe following my lead. So you really can't expect their motivation to go up. There's a little bit of a delayed effect there, but once your motivation level goes up and your commitment level goes up, your employees, the ones that, are real winners, will adjust as well and increase too. So I saw that. And I think also, employee retention at this point here, I have staff that's been with me for 10 years, some 5 of them over 6 years. It does take time too. So same thing with the producer side. Sometimes I feel like, man, some of these staff members that I had in the past, producers, man, they would have been so great if they just would have sticking it out here. They didn't want to go through the paying the dues stage. Just like when you're an agency owner too, or business owner, any business owner, there's a paying your dues phase that people go through and don't get anything out of because they gave up. So the employees' skill level definitely has increased here. And then to get into 500,000, which you're able to do last month, that only took 5 months. Okay, October 2022. So some of the questions, were on there was like, what really changed? Or some of the questions were like, what helped you get to 100K? If you look at the trajectory, there's a big spike from 300, 400, 500. So really, I would just say, man, just spending more money on marketing, spending more money on staffing. I think recruiting is a big deal too. As you get more experience, you're going to learn to know what type of person that works well with your agency. You have some pattern recognition so you don't make the wrong hires. You maybe let go of people sooner. You're always improving the team. So it really comes down to having your focus on marketing and staffing. Once you're there, I think your agency can scale at a much faster pace, because if you're the one doing the sales and the customer service, you're just so limited to what one person can do. And then the lead management system too, keeping things organized. I think that's huge when it comes to really scaling your agency. Very important that we were able to adapt to that system and having all these automation go out and keep things organized for us. I think that's been a game changer for our agency as well. Just wanted to share with you guys this graph here because, just maybe it'll give you guys some hope. I'm not sure, but it will just really show that momentum is a real thing. It's very underrated, and it gets easier as the longer you're in this business. You guys may not be noticing it, but you're getting better at your jobs every single day. Maybe it's not leaps and bounds every single day, but slowly but gradually, you're learning from your mistakes. You're becoming a better employer. The longer you have staff, you're better at motivating yourself, motivating others, recruiting, sales, and customer service training. Training is huge. Delegating, again, hiring the right staff, marketing, which lead vendors works well in your area with your product. There's just so many other things that, looking back, man, like I could honestly say I'm so much better at now. Thanks to experience. And then, the longer you're in your business here too, you're going to have more capital. It's really important that we reinvest that money back into our agency. The beauty of this business is that it's recurring revenue. As you have retention and you have residual income from the renewals, that money should be spent back on marketing and staffing. And that's really where you're putting more gas to the fire and you're going to be able to scale so much faster. So sometimes I feel like, man, I wish I had more money, but it is what it is. When you start, you just don't have that much money and you just have to work with what you work with. what you have. But once the residual income starts coming in, making sure you're reinvesting that money into your agency is what's going to help you grow your agency, and not making any drastic changes to your personal expenses too soon. You got to enjoy your life too, but you want to have your agency's income go up, but your lifestyle stay the same for a while, and be conservative with what you're spending. Yes, you're delaying your gratification, but the more you do that, definitely the future gets better and brighter. And then, last thing I want to share with you guys is just being patient. It just, again, I hope this graph shows how long it took me. I'm very thankful to myself that I stayed patient there. But I wish I would have stayed more patient, because I think there were some times there where I was just, looking for shortcuts and thinking like, things should be faster, and always looking for different things and not just improving what's been working, chasing a new, different lead, adjusting a little bit too much, or just not overall being happy with the progress. And that unhappiness, although it's important that I'm not satisfied, but it's still possible to be happy the whole time. Enjoy the ride, being patient in a funny way and not being too ambitious actually helps you get better results faster. So it's weird where you want things to go faster, you're actually slowing yourself down. And what I mean by that is, by being more patient, you're actually going to become nicer to yourself, which makes you more happy. And a happy business owner is a better employer. So I found myself being so much more nicer to my staff, to the people around me, to my clients. It's just a better place for employees to come in when you're a better boss, and you're just, at peace with the situation that you're in, and you're just enjoying the journey. And that's kind of how I see myself at this point, where I just really enjoy the process. Yes, I want to get to $1 million in premium, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It's just great to work with the people that you chose to work with, and protect clients. I mean, we're in a beautiful business, and we have a great work-life balance, with weekends and holidays and everything we have, be able to take off, and the freedom that we have. And once you have gratitude and understand the opportunity, things get a lot easier, and having the patience, so you're not beating yourself up, and most importantly, you're nicer to yourself. So just wanted to share this with you guys. If you have any other points you want to share, please put it on the comments of how patience and how momentum could be a real thing. Until next time, let's get it. Stay hungry. Thanks for watching, guys.